Good afternoon and welcome to another Facebook Live here from Highlight Crafts HQ. If we haven't met before, my name's Hannah and I'm here to take you through this afternoon's new collection and what a treat we have in store for you. This collection is called Springtime and it just encompasses all the wonderful things we're starting to see outside our windows at this time of year. So the collection itself full of gorgeous vines, full of beautiful flowers and most importantly some beautiful little bunnies as well. Should we start by taking a look at what we've got going on in this collection? So we're going to start with Beyond the Vines. This is a lovely large size die set. I've cut it in the white so you can see the amount of die cut detail you get, but the lovely intricate detailing of those fine vines and of course those little leaves is just gorgeous. Now next to that initial die cut we have our artwork. Now this is what we call our reflections. Essentially what you can do is hop on over to our website highlightcrafts.com, type in the die name, this one is Beyond the Vines, and download and print your artwork for this. Now what's really interesting about this die set, and you'll see when we have a look at the dies in more detail, is it does come with its mats and layers, so you can create this lovely oval shaped design, but also you can use it in different orientations. So initially we have it with the vines going up, you've then got it with the vines cascading down, framing your central image. Snip into this as well. Look how much snippability you've got. All these individual vines are going to use for leaves in your bouquets, for that extra element of texture in your designs as well. Love that die set. So usable. Next up, included within the Springtime collection. These are so cute. This is Buzzing Bunnies, okay, and the story behind our little bunnies here is we've got our little timid bunny in the front here. He's nestled down in between all these beautiful florals, and then his best friend is sort of just having a little stretch up, just getting a little bit closer to his little bee friends. So we've got a lot of individual little bees included within this die set. So think about the stories you're going to be able to tell with these bunnies and how they're going to interact. Of course, as you can see, we've got the florals as well as your separate floral decoupage, so you can build whole scenes of nature in front of your bunnies. And remember, the snippability is endless. Now we'll be showing you how we can decoupage this as well in the upcoming demonstration too. Very, very sweet little die as well. And of course, coming with that reflection artwork available from highlightcrafts.com. The final die set included within Springtime. Just look at this. This just sings spring. We're so lucky in this part of the world being able to see that new growth on the trees and those first buds of spring. Cherry delight. And isn't it just that? You've got this wonderful sprig of the cherry blossom here, again beautifully illustrated with that excellent artwork. We've got a smaller version as well, so if you want to extend that branch, have it veering off into this distance perhaps, but we also have your decoupage layers of your individual blossoms here as well. So lovely, lovely ways of including these on your cards, cut them a few times, make a whole bouquet from these too. Of course, if you wanted to, there is plenty of cut line detail included within those die cuts, which means you could introduce things like your ink lily pens, like your watercolor pencils, for example, if you did want to color that artwork for yourself as well. Just taking a look at the dies here, you'll see, as we mentioned, that beautiful Beyond the Vines, lots and lots of detail in here, and also with its two mats and layers. So you've got a full mat and layer on the one here, and then next to that we have another mat and layer. So this is going to be your card blanks, this is going to be your over the edge cards, this is going to be your apertures as well. We do have a split mat unity on this one, so the die comes in two halves, just like so, meaning you can create gatefold cards. It is meant to be split, and we do have demonstrations showing how to use those as well. Over the edge cards are perfect for that. Aperture cards, all sorts of ways of using that. And we will be using the outers matte layer for this in the demonstration to create an easel card. Next up, our bunnies, as you would imagine, come with a little matte layer as well. So perfect if you want to give them a little bit more prominence on the front of your card. Perhaps you want to create these into a topper, or perhaps a card blank in its own right. And of course, the cherry delight there at the top, that has its own individual matte layer as well, which is fantastic. Now we have got lots of people watching us already. A big hello to Caroline, Fiona and Dawn. Thank you for tuning in. If you do have any questions as we go through the show today, just type them up in the comments and we will do our best to answer as we go. Now, let's have a little look at a few of these finished samples. Do you remember how I mentioned about that cherry blossom, cutting it over and over again to create beautiful bouquets? what about something like this? This is glorious. A big thank you to Vicky from our design team there for this design. But look how creating that tunnel effect, just embellishing each one of those layers with a riot of those gorgeous Cherry Delight cherry blossom flowers. And then you've got your little bunnies to the center as well. That is super, super cute. Really, really sweet design. Or perhaps look forward to the different events we've got coming up as well. What about Easter cards? This is glorious. So this one is made by Amanda. Thank you very much, Amanda. You can actually catch Amanda later on Creating Craft. She's doing a tattered lace show this evening. But she's incorporated the springtime with the basket, which was you would have just seen with Daffodil Brook with Stephanie over the weekend. And look how well they work together. Of course, the bunnies front and center there, the bees buzzing around into all that cherry blossom, but using the cherry blossom florals to decorate that vine on this one. A very beautiful design for that. And finally, let's have a look at something a little bit pared back. What about gift bags as well? This is stunning. Again, a big thank you to Amanda. Really lovely. Again, a lovely, clean and simple design. Perhaps you're going to be using this for Mother's Day and you want to put some, I don't know, I know my mum loves gardening, so you could put some seeds in here. I'm giggling because Andrew, who's in my ear, is making suggestions of what could be put in the bag, and he wanted to give his mum an egg for Mother's Day, which is fine. just a plain normal egg. Yep, we can absolutely do that if that's what you want to do. But there you have a way, if you just take that design from the front of the gift bag, you could absolutely then pop that on the front of the card as well. Neat little bow to this corner there, absolutely gorgeous. And with eggs in mind, what about, there we go. It's so cute. Look how cute this is. A little Easter basket. Again, using that little basket from the Daffodil collection, Daffodil Brook, a few of the daffodils from there as well, and the mice. But we've got some little detailers in there, so you could put your bunnies on front of this and just add that in together. Really sweet little design there as well. So today, what we're doing for you, the whole collection here, if you were to buy each and every single one of these dies separately, you are looking at a total of $57.97. However, we have got an absolutely fantastic price for you today. Extra special deal. Today's bundle price is $39.99. That is saving of £17.98, which I think you'll agree is rather fantastic. However, if you are a Club Highlight member, there's even more savings to be had. You can get these 3 dies home today for $35.99, a saving of $21.98. If you are a Club Highlight member, you get extra benefits on top of that, things like free postage as well. If you're not a member, do consider signing up. Just hop on over to our website. It's free to join. Just look for the Club Highlight links on the website, enter your details on there, and that will sign you up, affording you that extra saving we have on this collection today for you as well. We also do have the reflections available to download. So if you're looking at this artwork that the design team that I'll be using through the demonstrations and that you've seen on this samples too, just go onto the website, type in either the springtime reflections or the individual die names, and the reflections will come up. What we also have, if you don't have a printer, we can print these for you, and then we can pop them in the post. It's just a charge there, so pop those in your basket and use that. We do have full instructions over on our YouTube channel as well on how to print and how to cut out your dies as well. Shall we get into a demonstration? I think let's do so. So we're going to be using all of those dies within this beautiful collection today, and I'm going to sneak in our Tuesday treat. So if you're watching this before the 9th of February, we do have an extra special treat online for you that I will be using halfway through the demonstration as well. Excuse me whilst I adjust my earpiece. There we go, we have it on the screen. That is perfect. So today's Tuesday treat, I have to mention it because this is an incredible die set, okay? And what we're doing each Tuesday is giving you a different treat. So today's treat for a limited time only is to save £5 on the Rural Patches die set. And I will show you the dies because you get so many more than what's shown on the front of the packaging. But we're also doing free to download for a limited time only until the 9th of February, 4 new colourways. And that's not just new colourways for the reflections, we're also popped in there different background colours as well. So this is really great. If you need an extra little bit of inspiration on how we can use the rural patches in different designs, there is a blog post up that has launched today as well, taking that through. If you're watching after the 9th of Feb, I'm very sorry, but that promotion has ended, but we will have plenty more. So keep checking back on Tuesdays for your Tuesday treats. Okay, let's then just have a look at how we're going to build this easel card. So we're going to take the outermost die here, which is the split unity like so. We're going to tape it together so it cuts in a hole, and we're going to cut that 3 times from about 350 GSM, something nice and heavy, plain white smooth cardstock, which is going to be fantastic because that's going to give us a nice base on which to make our design. So we've got 1, we've got 2, and our 3rd one is going to act as our mechanism for our easel card. Carol, thank you very much for messaging in. She thinks these dies are fantastic. I do have to agree, they are stunning, and I love springtime cards. I love coming out of those winter months and just seeing the first buds on the trees, seeing those lovely insects like the bees beginning to buzz around and things like that. It's just that awakening feel. It's that fresh new beginning feel, which I think really is honed so beautifully in this collection. So for my next layer, I'm working on the base of the card at the moment. I'm leaving the other 2 cuts just to one side for the moment. I've taken one of the printed papers from one of the previous collections. This could well be one of the rural patches actually, free download that you could get for that today. But I'm just going to use this one, just a nice green backing paper here. And I'm sticking this to the base of my card using finger lift tape. For this little edge, just because it's a smaller area, I am going to be using a little bit of the bookbinding glue from Pinflair just to smooth in a little bit of glue to hold that area in place. So that's the base of our easel card. Next up, we want to go for the mechanism. So again, remember, this is one of the cuts from the 350 GSM smooth cardstock. And I've scored about, I don't know, say ½ an inch from the top here. Okay, little score line there. And then roughly halfway down, another score. For the top, we've popped some red liner tape, some ultra clear tape on the back of our layer. I'm going to peel and just fold that forward to then just stick these 2 layers together. So we're sticking the mechanism of the easel card to the base of the easel card, taking our time just to make sure that's all aligned properly, like so, and holding that in place as we then stick that top fold. Okay, so burnishing that down. And you can see here, when we come to open our card, it's giving you that lovely sort of pop-up effect there, like so. Notice we've only got the red liner tape on the bottom half of this score line here. That's because when we add our top layer, we want everything to be allowed to continue that pop-up movement of the easel. So holding our top in place, I'm gently gonna go in, hold it down, and then remove just one of the carrier sheets on the red liner tape and burnish that down into place. That means I haven't got sort of lots and lots of tape that I'm trying to struggle against. I'm then hands-free to go in, and this just makes sure everything keeps aligned properly as well. So just removing the carrier sheet to create that top layer like so. This then gives you that pop-up effect, which is really fun. It gives you a little bit more of a movement to the front of your card. For the matte layer on this one, we're going to go in, same thing again, same green paper, same finger lift tape, and just folding the carrier sheet of the finger lift tape over the edge to create a little tab. That then allows me to line up my matte layer, my framing devices on the base layer of my card like so, and the peel away and smooth down in place. It just allows you that extra little bit of control over the placement, so you're not sort of getting it all sort of off on one angle or what have you. Once again, a little bit of bookbinding glue just to finish that edge like so. Okay, so there we have our base of our easel created. Onto this. Let's use the vines. Now I've chosen to create this in this particular orientation just because it means you've got them growing up from the base. You could absolutely create this with them coming down as well. Choice is yours. I'm going to squidge out a little bit of the Pinflair glue onto my mat here, and I am going to use our glue applicators just to pick up. I'm simply doing this because this vine is so delicate and so detailed. I want a little bit of glue And I want to get into those little areas, like so, to add in just the detailing all the way around. Just giving me a little bit more control and precision over the placement of the glue. That means when I come to turn that all round, I can then take my time in lining that up alongside the detailings, like so. Now what's lovely is because this die is so flexible, you can almost like change the orientation. You can change the layout of where it sits as well. So you could have this one coming over more if you wanted, have them rising up. It's really up to you how you craft with this. And I think that gives you so much more versatility with detailing. And as we've mentioned, you know, snip into it. Cut away layers, cut away detailings to use in bouquets and things like that. Now, because my paper is shiny, I'm just holding that in place until the glue grabs. It's just being a little bit temperamental as it's a little bit cold in here today, but that's okay. We'll get there with it. That's fine. Just giving it a time like so. As we build more layers onto there, it will give you that anchor point for the glue itself. So all that's done is giving you a lovely textured background against that beautiful paper we're using as well. Onto this, I absolutely have to include our bunnies. Aren't they the sweetest little thing? These are the buzzing bunnies and they are just glorious. They are so, so cute. Now I've cut these 3 times from the reflections and they are going to nestle to the centre of my card. But as we're looking at it at the moment, you've got quite a lot of green going on in the background. This is where I wanted to include something a little bit darker just to you know, give you that pause between the layers. How about we slip in here one of the rural patches. So you see how now you're framing those bunnies. You're bringing those bunnies forward from the background, not disappearing into the green there, which is lovely. So yes, we're covering up a few of the little layers, but they are there to add the frame. So remember that rural patches, we have got that Tuesday treat artwork available to download for free for a limited time. So if you're watching this before the 9th of February, hop on over to our website and get hold of your rural patches Tuesday treat. But it is worth noting, if you're interested in this die set and you haven't added it to your collection yet, we also do have an offer on the rural patches. They are £5 off, which is going to be a really fantastic saving for you. Here, I'm going to start adding the bunnies in. So you see, I'm turning it over, just giving it a little bit of detailing there, and then just using my poker tool to refine those leaves and things, twisting them, turning them over the edge of the poker tool, just to give them a little bit of lift, okay? Now, I've just heard in my ear that Rural Patches die is £5 off today, and it is down to £7.99, which I think is amazing. Just go over to the website to have a look at those. I will grab, if I may, just to pause the demonstration quickly, because I think it's really important to show you. Take a look at how many are included. It makes me laugh because £7.99 for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 die sets. And don't forget, if you're watching before the 9th of February, we do have that free download as well, which is just amazing. So please do consider getting this, because I've had such fun making a little blog post with different ways of using this. We've got faux embossing techniques on there. We've got background techniques on there. We've also got how to use these as a photo frame. And we have got Valentine's Day coming up, so you have got your hearts and things like that in there. And they do work beautifully, just tucked in behind your designs, like we've done here, to highlight them further. You could then put your sentiment strip on here. You could put your detailings on here, just to add that extra little bit of detailing. For our bunnies, let's continue with our buzzing bunnies here. Again, each layer that we're going on with, building our decoupage layers, we're just rounding those off and adding in some texture, using that poker tool just to define. And then here I'm using my Pinflair glue gel this time, because we're adding that height and dimension like so. So I'm just looping that over, building the three-dimensional glue gel to layer in. So for this next layer, this sort of mid-ground layer, if you like, we've cut those same leaves, those same florals, but what we've done is cut away the bunny in the background. As we then layer that, so it all sits on top of one another. Oh, I apologise, I'm getting all fingers and thumbs there. Let's just twist that around there like so. That bunny in the background now looks in the background, and the bunny in the foreground is coming right into the foreground as well. Little paw on his shoulder, that little bit of comfort he's offering, just so sweet. For the final decoupage layer, what we're going to do is just come in and just follow the cut line details that are already laid down by that die. So the die itself is cutting out that artwork for you. All we're doing is going in and releasing the background layers, just following the cut line details that are already there, moving the die cut rather than moving the scissors themselves, and trimming away. So I'm going to trim away the flowers here and trim away the bunny just to bring in this foreground. So essentially what you're doing is building perspective, building this sense of depth into your card designs like so. Just taking the scissors and snipping around each one of these leaves. Let me just change my angle there and continue to snip. And this is a really lovely way of adding a little bit of point of interest to your card designs. It's a way of building the focus. So if your central image, like these bunnies, for example, you want to build the focus, you want to draw the eye to the center, do think about adding these decoupage techniques, because it really does give you a lovely look to your finished cards as well. So just snipping away like so. Because we're building on decoupage layers, you don't have to be extremely precise with your cutting. The scissors will find the cut line details that are already laid down, and that just does help to guide you of where you make your snips. Final layer, a little bit of glue, just finding those areas where we can pop the glue so it doesn't show, and then just lining that up. Again, just now the bunnies are nestled in those flowers. I'm going to take a little bit of the bookbinding glue just to stick the tops of these ones together, and that makes sure they keep alignment as we're building. It just looks so sweet. I think what we'll also do, let's just take our die cut image here, and let's just take our little timid bunny, his little sweet little face. Let's cut him out as well. Just trimming away the excess. And again, that's going to draw the eye to the center of the card by having this little face raised. It's going to draw in the look to the design at the center of your card as well. So it's just about sort of balancing your card and adding those details in. Remember, each time we add a layer, just round it off with a ball tool or the back of your pokey tool as well. Squidging a little bit of glue just gives that little face a little bit more prominence on the front of your card. That's so cute. And I think we can't finish this demo without having some of these beautiful cherry blossoms in as well, because they are just glorious. Whenever we're shaping, do think about the way these would be orientated in real life. So we've got the sort of leaves and the blossom coming out. So this time around, we're going to shape them towards us to give that little cupped design like so. Again, a little bit of glue. And we're just going to tuck those behind. So we're going to extend the flowers that are already laid in place, just hugging around the side here. I want to build a little bit of a sort of spray design around the edge of the card as well. I think that's a really lovely spring-like colour here. Just so cute. Remember, you can snip into these as well. So if you do get to a point where you think, actually, I would like this coming around a little bit further, I'd like a little bit more of a sprig coming off here, we can absolutely go into these die cuts and snip in as well. Let's just take away the branches on that one. And then let's take off that little side as well. Now the great thing about working with your printed reflections, so the reflections you've downloaded from the website, you can print them off as many times as you like. So you can add as many layers as you like. You can snip in, trial them, experiment with them as many times as you like, because you can just simply re-download, recut, and then snip into them again and again. So we're just adding a little bit more there to give you that little bit more of a full look to the side, and perhaps we want some of these little florals just coming to the foreground too. Just layer them over one another as well. Really, you could go on and on. Add them to your taste, add them how you want them to be in your card designs, just like so. I love the full look to the flowers as well. We can absolutely do the same. Remember, that little bunny does come with the buzzing bumblebees here as well, which are super cute. But we can also add some florals from your decoupage layers and things to the foreground of this card design too. Adding in a little bit of glue and just adding in a few, perhaps you want some more florals coming up this side. You know, it really does open up a world of creativity for you. Just adding in the glue and adding the florals where you want them. Now I think we will finish with a couple of bees. So I'd like to take one of the bees and have this on the flower because I like the conversation. I like the idea that a little bee is sitting on this flower and having just a lovely little chat with our bunny there as well. I wonder what they're talking about. Do you think they're talking about how lovely the spring flowers are at this time of year, how good the nectar is, perhaps? Let's just imagine for a little while what those bunnies might be talking about. So you've got that little card there. We then want to the inside of our card, create a little stopper. Now you could absolutely use one of the rural patches as a stopper to the foreground of your card. What I'm going to do is add in just a sprig and a few flowers for the bouquet. I'm going to hold this open rather than keep it open on the stopper itself because the glue won't have dried in time to keep it open. So your glue from the Pinflair glue gel is probably going to need about a good 24 hours just to dry and hold its shape. But you can absolutely create your little stopper with that, or foam pads if you prefer. Just giving you the options. And I think just to tell the story and continue the story onto the inside of the card, let's grab one of the bees, but let's stick him flat to the base of the card so he doesn't become the stopper. He's just interacting with the stopper like so. That's so super cute. Let's just arrange that so that's sitting properly. And there we have a finished easel card, created using the rural patch in the background and of course all of those beautiful dies from the springtime collection. That's so cute. Carol, thank you for messaging in. She's just said that she is really enjoying the bunnies, thinks they're super cute, and I do too. And Patty, welcome, international viewer from New York as well. How exciting. Thank you for joining us today. And Joanna, thank you. Joanna's just messaged in to say she loves the dies as well. I cannot wait to see what you'll be creating with these. Don't forget to share them on our Facebook group as well. We do love seeing what you create with these. So just as a quick reminder, these die sets are available today. If you were to buy each one of the dies individually, so that is your Cherry Delight, the Beyond the Vines and the Buzzing Bunnies, it would be $57.97 in total. However, we do have these on special offer today for you at special bundle price of £39.99. That is a total saving of £17.98. However, as we mentioned, Club Highlight members do get an extra little bit off of that as well. So if you haven't joined the club yet, do consider doing it because you do get that extra off this collection. Club members are paying $35.99 for these free dies today, and that is a saving of $21.98. And don't forget, being a club member, you will get free postage on this collection today as well. Now, if you're not a club member already and you are looking into joining us, just head to our website, click Club Highlight. It is free to join. So you're getting those extra savings, you're getting that free PMP, you're getting extra benefits by being a club member as well. And don't forget, each time you spend, you earn points on your purchases as well. Well worth joining. And it is free PMP on orders over a certain amount as well. Okay, let's have another look at a few of these finished samples. Let's show you some we haven't seen yet because I think, oh, I just threw the chocolates on the floor. Just knocked the Easter eggs everywhere. I'll have to tidy those up later. Okay, so let's have a little look at one of these cards. This is glorious. This is by Vicky as well. Thank you, Vicky. She's done a twist easel card on this. Isn't that beautiful? With the blossoms, see how she's taken each one of those blossoms and decorated the Beyond the Vines here as well. Hello to Tanya, who's just joined us too. And the bunnies to the foreground, using the foliage cut away from the bunnies there to create your foreground stopper as well. Beautiful card, lovely subtle colours in the background as well. We have also got one more to share with you. What about something really clean and simple? Just the bunnies there in the foreground, snipped away the flowers there. So you're using just the bunnies and then extending that cherry blossom up the side of the card for your DL shape as well. Little sentiment, little bow, really sweet, but so achievable as well. Just gorgeous. So we're going to have a quick run through the dies that you get and also the boards as well, just to show you what you're getting within this collection. So as we've mentioned, we have got lots to show you on this. We're going to start with the on the vines. Remember, this one you can use in different orientations. You can have the vines coming down. It almost reminds me of, was it The Little Mermaid when they're going in the boat through the sort of the vines that are all draping down? Lovely sort of iconic scene from my childhood there, which was just remind me of these. So this could be a backdrop. You could absolutely print these on vellum, for example, and then cut them out to give them even more of a textured look as well. Use them in different orientations, so you can absolutely have the vines coming upwards as well, and cut into them and use them as individual tuck-in designs too. Next up, we have got those buzzing bunnies. Super, super cute. I love the story to this. I love the illustrative quality. The little bees that you get, just having that little conversation with the bunnies there as well. And of course, all those beautiful florals too. And of course, you've seen how we can decoupage those and layer those too. And our final die set is that Cherry Delight, that beautiful signature flower of spring, the cherry blossom, the sprig, the smaller sprig, and of course your little blossoms as well. Layer them up on the vines to create really delicate designs. The dies in all their glory, as you've seen them previously. You've got the bunnies there with the matte layer. You've got those vines. Remember, we've mentioned you've got the 2 matte layers on this one, and your cherry blossoms as well. A beautiful collection for this time of year. Thank you to everyone who has joined us for the demonstration today. What is worth noting, if you are watching us on YouTube, don't forget to like and subscribe. And on that note, we haven't put it up yet, but we will be having a giveaway for YouTube as well over in the Facebook group. All you need to do to become a subscriber is go to www.youtube.com/@highlightcrafts. Remember to subscribe and then hit the little bell, which is a notify button, and you will get details of each and every video that we post. And that's not just the 2 Red Robins ones, that covers all of the scan and cut ones with Mel. It covers ones with David and Amanda, and there's lots and lots of more education. And ooh, I've just heard in my ear, my craft studio starts soon as well, so it's well worth subscribing to YouTube. We're doing a giveaway for that, so we'll put the details up in the Facebook group. You can find the details after this video has launched over in the Facebook group, and that is 2 Red Robins. So just search for that on Facebook and you'll find us there as well. So that is all the details we are bringing you today. Do join us next time. Keep an eye on our social media pages for the next collection, and we shall see you then. Bye.